Buonasera, amici. Good evening, friends, and welcome to Italy. We've arrived here at the Temple of Speed, the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, and I am your commentator, Robert Ionescu, today for GP2. And I am joined by the best George in GP4 OC history, George Rogue. Hello, George. How you doing?
Ciao, and thank you very much. Yes, hello everybody. Welcome to the 10th round, of course, of GP2 at Monza. It's going to be very interesting, of course. We've only got, after this round, only 3 more races left. The title race is getting tighter by the minute. And, of course, there are top seats in the OC up for grabs. So the next few races are going to be very important for a number of drivers.
Naturally. Last time out in Belgium, Chris Chatfield took his first victory of the season and his first since Hungary last season. And yeah, got himself much closer to a championship lead, which is still held by Davi Suarez despite his DNF. We've only 3 races to go after tomorrow's race, and we don't even know what 2 of those races are going to be. So yeah, we've only 3 races left after this. It's crunch time. So yeah, it's time to get going with the qualifying here in Italy. The practice in the top class was wet, but this qualifying session is not going to be wet. It's going to be bone dry.
Yes, indeed. So let's get this show on the road.
Yep, that's right. And we're going to get going here in a bone dry Temple of Speed. We might even beat the OC practice times, considering the weather. Probably will.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because they're roughly about, 7, 8 seconds off the Formula 1 cars, roughly. Maybe
Yeah.
9.
Speaking of which, speaking of the OC, of course, today we got just one team news for of you who might have missed it, and that is, of course, that Evan Byrne will be staying at Renault for a 3rd successive season. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, the BTCC signups for next season have started, so if you want a seat there, you can now apply for one, of course, as we got some movement in the pits. The mechanics coming out for 2 teams. Got 2 cars going out at roughly the same time.
And a reminder, of course, that DTM signups and Formula E signups are also open. Just a reminder as well.
Every single sign-up except the top class signups, which are already over. Well, every single other sign-up is open. And now Dennis Graf is the first one to grace the track with his presence. And here he goes.
So as he comes through, obviously the first chicane will be the first one to learn the circuit. Of course,
yeah,
you could say it's easy, but of course a lot of hard braking zones, a lot of obviously places to overtake, but also a lot of places where you can easily make a mistake. So they'll have about 3 laps. I mean, this is a relatively short circuit, but the times will be probably about 1:28, maybe 28, 29, about that time. So
it's definitely possible. Either way, one key thing to note here at Monza, because there aren't that many corners, every single corner is critical for lap time. If you make the tiniest of mistakes, you might lose out big time, and you don't want to do that.
At this circuit more than anywhere else, really, particularly because it's so fast. So, I mean, even probably the slightest mistake will maybe lose you a 10th, but obviously that 10th could be vitally important.
And let's see how important it's going to be to Dennis Graf as he's preparing to start his lap. 21 cars out on track at the moment, the 22nd one coming out right now. And the first one is going to start his lap. Zorbach is the one that just came out of the pits. And now his compatriot Graf is starting a lap. Of course, he took his first podium in Belgium, and he'll be looking for some more good results as he powers down towards the Retifilio chicane. He's going to brake hard, hardest braking zone on the calendar. From massive speeds, get slowed down nice and early, and then into the chicane. Get a good exit because this section is critical. And it's the Curva Grande, the famous corner, flat out. Of course, onto the right. Don't take any curb, and keep it flat. Braking hard towards the De La Roggia chicane. Here goes Graf at 28.3. That's a good first sector. And now into this chicane, you have to be very careful with the curbs. Take as much as possible without unsettling the car. As you get ready for the Lesmos, the first Lesmo. Not that important, just don't go too wide. Now the even more important second Lesmo. Why is it so important? Because you need a perfect exit onto this straight, the Curva di Serralio. And at the end of sector 2, we'll be heading towards the Ascari chicane. Underneath the old circuit, underneath the oval, goes Dennis Graf. And now, breaking hard into Ascari, good second sector time. And now, don't lose too much, don't scrap up too much speed in the second part, and carry as much as you can into the third part, because all that's left now is the critical Parabolica corner, a famous corner where so many things have happened, and where Dennis Goff will finish his lap. One more right-hander to go, and here he goes, taking it. Goff going wide on exit, but not taking too much. Not wanting to bite into the AstroTurf, and this Goff will be setting his lap time. It's going to be a 1:31.4. Put him on provisional pole, of course. This is the only car who's done a lap. Nguyen goes into second, just 200s behind. Now got a train of cars.
Here comes Skillen across the line. He goes third. Fasciori behind as well. Berenet goes way quicker than anyone. Oh, but behind him, so does Jake Galloway. Goes 2/10 quicker. Now here
What about
comes
David Suarez?
the championship leader.
He's not had
Goes
a
third.
perfect lap, and neither has Adventure.
Federi
Federi
eighth across
woefully
the
off the pace, and Curtis all the way down in last. His teammate does much better though. He's a second quicker and goes into fourth place. What about Anderson? Well, he's taken fourth now. McCarthy up next. He's down in seventh. David Kupok next to cross the line goes into second place. Very good lap time from him.
Good lap by him.
What's
Thomas
11th?
Bennett across the line, and he goes 14th. Burns 10th. Chatfield only 16th. Here comes Jared Fosbury.
This
across
is a
the
good
line.
lap.
8th
8th place for
position.
him. Now Balance Olga, 16th, and Zorbach, the man who took pole in Belgium, let's not forget, is in
Ooh,
second
very
at the
close.
moment. Yeah, incredibly
Yeah,
tight to Galloway.
Yeah, only 93,000 separating the top three so far, but a good start, and particularly
Like
for
you
Zorbach.
mentioned, George, every 10th can make a huge difference here at Monza, and it has definitely made the difference for Jake Galloway so far.
Indeed, it has. So he is out of the first set of laps. He is the quickest, but Zorbach, of course, he's in a good position right now in second. Suarez down in 10th, Chatfield down in 19th. So far, not a good start for a number of them.
Yeah.
But for Zorbach, it is the perfect start. Of course,
Agreed.
pole position this season as well. Been a different pole position in nearly every race. The only driver who has taken more than one pole position was Aaron Curtis. Took pole at the first race and then took pole at the night race in Hungary. In Hungary,
And we
the
got a
first race
traffic
was.
jam here,
yeah.
Beranek
Oh.
being held up a little bit by the Rapax. And George, I want you to take a look between 6th place and 11th place, because all of them are within a 10th, pretty much, of each other.
Oh yeah, they are. That is very close. There are 1.7 seconds separating the whole field, and Curtis, who I was actually just thinking about, is unfortunately at the moment in last, but there's still plenty of time to improve. We've got a lot of time left to go in the session, but
Of course, Curtis, after qualifying in a lowly position in Belgium, I think 18th or 20th, one of those two, he recovered all the way to finishing the points, so let's not underestimate him.
No, and particularly at this circuit as well. So yeah, that is a good point you made there.
Yeah, it's overtakes galore here in Monza. Just make sure you get the slipstream, and you make sure you don't give the other guy the slipstream. That's pretty much the strategy.
So obviously all 22 cars and the pits, of course, all 22 cars will now go back onto the circuit. Of course, now that all are allowed to go onto the circuit, of course. Before it was just 17, and now it's all of them. Makes it a little bit more exciting.
So there will be no more Hautalaying anymore.
So then this graph comes back onto the circuit again.
And I think who won last season here, I think it was David Kupok. But now he's currently in third place, so definitely a very solid time.
But obviously, Dennis Graff, the first driver out in the circle on the first lap, and the first on the second lap too. So we're looking to
good for him.
But
he'll be hoping he didn't go out too early, because he might have to deal with some traffic. But then again, considering what circuit this is, traffic could be a blessing as long as you get the right places. And this is not one of the right places. You don't want any traffic in Sector 2, one of the most corners, of course.
Yeah, you ideally want to catch them just coming off the Parabolica, just to get the slipstream onto the straight to get across the line. That's just a perfect balance, really, I think.
Yeah, they can net you a nice 10 for 2.
So most cars are out the track. Well, actually, quite funnily enough, 7th to 12th, some of the tightest gaps in the field are not out yet. but
Of course,
the front
that's
runners are.
subject to change, and they'll be heading out very soon. Got a lot of activity on the pit straight, and this could harm or help Dennis DeGraff's chances. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, only 5 cars yet to go back out onto the circuit. That being Tomaselli, Fosbury, McCarthy,
One of them
Burns,
has gone
and
out,
one of them has gone out.
and now McCarthy's going
only
out
3.
too.
So here comes Dennis. I think I can just see a car coming out at him in the distance, but I don't think it will affect him.
I
So
don't
as he
think so, but depends how quick he is on his lap, of course. And
Yeah,
would you like to commentate for his lap, George?
Yeah, sure. So obviously he's come through the first chicane, and now he comes off it, and he's set to come through to the Curva Grande. Just a very simple right, obviously keeping off the curbs, making sure you have as much speed as possible. And now as you come into, let's have a look at his first sector time, and he is up. He's up by nearly a tenth. That's a pretty good first sector.
Yeah,
so now we're coming towards, now we're into the 2 Lesmos, coming through the first. Right, taking a lot of curb there, now coming through the second Lesmo. Important to obviously get a good exit through here. Now on to the back straight and heading towards the Ascari chicane. Can Dennis Graff keep up this lap at the moment? He had a good first sector, so the question is, can he keep it up for the second sector as he comes to it? And the answer is
really.
no. He
lost
a lot of time there. So he comes through the Ascari chicane. Pretty well done there. So obviously he's not going to catch the car in front, it's too far away. So he's going to have to have a mega final corner if he wants to improve his lap. He's set to come through the Parabolica, and here we go. Comes through, and pretty good run through there. So the question is, can he gain a bit of time on the lap? He lost out a lot in sector 2. He comes to the line. I'm not sure, it's going to be close. He comes across the line, and he does. Wow. Okay, so he
got
had
all
a
the way
good
up
last.
to 6th. Incredible. So he must have had a compromised sector 3 back on the first lap. As now Federi is improving. I just want to say Chatfield's staying in the pits. It's only 21 cars out on track as Federi's finishing his lap. To go, 19th only. Fashere up next, and this is a good lap. 14th for him, and Adventure goes 3rd.
A great lap from him there. Skillen goes 4th. Only 72,000 separating the top 4. Anderson is not going to improve.
Top 5 all within a 10th, and Nguyen is trying to improve, but he is not doing it. Jay Galloway, the provisional pole sitter, stays there, of course, but has been way off on this lap. Now, what about Aaron Curtis, the man currently in last?
Look like he's improving.
He might, though, just about. We'll have to wait and see. And he does, but still in last place.
I think he proved actually 1,000th there, I think, because Beranek
Yes,
goes in 7th.
No, that was Bennett.
Oh, Bennett, sorry, I get confused. Yeah,
and now here comes Beranek to go into 6th, which is where he already was. Now Suarez, he didn't improve on his lap there, and neither did Henry Watzel. Bez Waldinger, he doesn't improve either. 4 tenths down. Now Jed Fosbury, one of the last guys left. We're expecting Tomaselli behind as well. And a few more as well. Fosbury didn't improve. What about McCarthy? He's impeding Burns a little bit. And Burns seems to be on a quick lap. Yes, he goes into 7th place. Burns. And Tomaselli is the last one. He didn't improve.
Yeah, so
is there anyone else? I don't think so.
No, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yep,
yeah, because he was the one who was just in front of Graf. He was doing his lap, so he would have to be that. We already got some cars in the pits already. Man, it is improving, of course, right now, but that's not going to matter. It's going to have to box.
Incredibly tight top 5, just 93,000 separating the top 5. So it's all to play for.
And of course, 2 championship contenders are in that squabble as well. It's those being Zorbach and Adventure.
Very close indeed.
Yeah. Of course, Zorbach was the championship contender for most of 2017. Before he dropped off at the 2016, I'm sorry, before he dropped off at the very end. And now, could he get himself back into another title fight?
It's going to be very interesting to see if he does. But I mean, in the title fight, it has got obviously very close over the last few races. So I mean, anyone I think, if I can remember right, at least in the top 4, maybe even 5, I think, can still win it. But well, for a number of them, of course, they need a good result here. Otherwise, it's pretty much going to be over.
Well, counting the bonus points, of course, there are still. Let me do some quick maths on this one. How many points did you get for a perfect week? Oh yeah, there are still 124 points up for grabs. So of course, mathematically, anyone could still clinch the championship, but it's not gonna be that simple.
Because it's 4 points. It's 4 points for fastest lap, isn't it? Pole position. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
31
4.
points, the theoretical maximum for per weekend, which Daniel Adventure did get over in Barcelona, of course, and which Henry Watson, I think, got in Germany. Multiplied that by 4 and got as I said, 124 points left to play for. As Federi's gone out this time, he's the first one now, not Graf. So this is interesting, and I think Chatfield will be going out very shortly too.
Yeah,
Adventure did actually.
Yeah, Chetfield should be next, as obviously he missed out the last lap, so you should expect to see him out pretty soon.
Chatfield has had a phenomenal last amount of results. 4 podium finishes in 5 races, and he ended that streak with a win last time out in Belgium. But right now he's not qualifying that well, and he has gone out.
But yeah, I mean, it seemed like he'd had a terrible start to the season, and then it has just completely turned around. And of course, now he's in with the chance of getting a possible seat in the top tier for next season. So of course, now he needs to keep up that good form.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. He is rumored, of course, with Haas and with Alfa Romeo. But we'll just have to wait and see. We still got 15 seats on the table in the top class, and only time will tell.
So if you look at Federi coming through the Ascari chicane, obviously still a number of drivers that I think I can just see are coming out of the pits. So
yeah, and Adventure is right behind him, so he'll be trying to take advantage of some tow on his lap and launch a bit for the front row.
Indeed, he will be. So I wonder if, how close Adventure is, as long as he's not too close at the start of the lap, so he doesn't get held up. But Scuderia about to come through and starting his next lap. At the moment, it's only Tomaselli and Valdinger who are still in the pits. So Federi won't be
expect one of them to come out pretty shortly. As Federi braking hard towards Rettifilio. He's racing out home here, and he'll be looking to impress not only his home fans, which are not social distancing, by the way, but also any top class teams. Because if you remember, it just about narrowly missed out on a Williams seat to Lynn Campana, and as a result, Campana is racing in the top class while Federi is not. Currently, he is not improving.
Quite close. I mean, at the moment, it's only Tomaselli that's not out of the pits. Valdinger did come out a little bit behind Federi, so he'll be one of the last ones to do this lap.
Yes.
So as he comes through the two Lesmos, now on to the back straight. So let's see if he gets a good enough run to improve on this lap. He was narrowed down, I think it was by about 26 thousandths in first sector.
Yeah, but considering he's in 20th, this lap doesn't look particularly good. Let's see if he can get any sort of improvement. No, he's only slowing down, and this could actually harm Adventure's chances, depending if he gets too close.
Yeah, so Federi coming down the back straight heading towards the Parabolica. So I don't think Adventure is that close behind him. Well, as long as he gets
look
close
at the
coming
mini
out
map in the first sector. There's a huge chain of cars there, so that will be very interesting to see what the lap times will be like. As Federi is finishing his third lap now, and probably not going to improve. Across the line he goes, and he does not improve. Way off the pace. What about Adventure? He's way off too, actually. Galloway is still on provisional pole, and he still is, though he didn't improve on this one. And Gwen is holding up Graf. This could be a very good lap for Graf, depending where he finishes it. How much did Gwen compromise him? Quite a lot, actually. Yeah.
A lot. Chatfield goes up to 7th. That's a better lap.
Yeah, big improvement for him. What about Zorbach? Can he improve? No, not quite. A second off. As now Anderson is finishing his lap. We got the 2 Rapaxes behind of Kupok and Skillen. Skillen up first, and he doesn't improve, and neither does Kupok. So the slipstream didn't play too much of a role, sadly, for them. Now Christoph Beranek down in P6. The first driver not to be within a 10th of pole. Can he get within a 10th? No, not yet. Now David Suarez. He doesn't improve on his lap. And Zolga is battling with Watson, I think that is. No, it's Burns. Zolga's gone up into 10th.
Curtis is improving as well. Goes 13th
for him. Just 1,000 behind Anderson. McCarthy has improved as well. Fosbury has improved. And Watson's gone into 7th. I'm sorry, Fosbury hasn't improved, but Watzel has. He's gone 7th. Now Waldinger, we're
Yep.
waiting for him to finish his lap. I think he's the last one left.
Yep, and he's not improving at the moment unless he has a good run through the Parabolica. He's currently 17th, so he's 8/10 off pole position, but he's not going to get it. But can he improve? As he comes
Either way,
down.
he's only 3/100ths behind his teammate. So let's see if he can cut that gap by any stretch of the imaginations. And no, just barely by half a tenth misses out.
He was close, but not quite close enough. So
Yeah.
no improvements in the top 5, but movements elsewhere.
Of
through
course,
the
it
order.
doesn't matter how much you fail to improve by. All that matters is that you improve. And if you don't do that, you're not going to gain a position. Of course, there's still 1 lap left for most of these people, and 2 laps left for Tomaselli and for Chatfield. As we got Bennett,
Oh,
no, that's Chatfield actually, with a collision with Graf there, and Graf has been pushed all the way through the garage. He's going to the next one. He's going to the Matter garage here, and will he keep going or will he finally stop?
He
stopped.
Oh no,
And he
there we
just
go.
teleported.
He's back.
Yeah, back in the correct box, and that was a little naughty from Chatfield, I'd have to say. Or was it Bennett? One of the two.
Yes, anyway, so we've got 10 minutes left, so there'll be, I think, 2 more laps from most drivers, I think.
Yeah, and we're still waiting for Waldinger to come into the pits. I think we might get someone going out even before he gets the chance to come in.
So the question is who is going to be the first one to go out this time.
Graf is trying, but he stopped. Who's he waiting for? Oh no, that's not Graf. That's not Waldinger either.
Wait, was that
Adventure's going out.
It was, but
yeah.
No,
anyway,
look
at the minimap. Waldinger is all coming in just now.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know who that was then. But anyway, yeah. So the 3rd place man coming out.
Yeah, he led the championship for most of the way, but now he's lost the lead. I don't even know where he is right now. I think he might be in 3rd or something like that. And Adventure, he hasn't scored points in the last few races. He desperately needs to find his mojo back and score.
Yeah, looking at the standings, he's actually 6th position at the moment in the standings. So yes, he has fallen. Well, actually, he's had he has fallen quite a bit actually, because after the first 3 races, he won obviously round 2 and 3, but then has had pretty much a terrible run of form since, really.
Yeah, there is still time for him to get back his mojo and take back the championship lead, of course. And to do that, he needs to qualify well here, which he is doing at the moment. But I'm sure he wants to do even better, as we got even more cars out. We have 9 minutes to go.
It's the first step for him, so he'd happily take it being in the top 10, of course. And it'll be interesting tomorrow, of course, with regards to the race, whether it will be, of course, a wet race or not, because that could obviously spice things up.
Like it did in Belgium.
Yeah, Belgium was quite interesting. Just everyone on the dry tires at the end. It was really tense watching that race, to be honest, because I just didn't know, because it was raining quite a lot, and the track was soaking at the end, so I didn't know if anyone was going to pit or not, but they didn't. And
Kiyopaka pitted, but obviously for a different reason. He still went on dry tires though, but that didn't harm him. He had incredible pace and he got himself into 4th place. He's got the 2 Grand Prix cars coming out one after the other. They're not in pitting adventure though, so the Pole will be happy about that.
Yeah.
That exit was a little weird out of the chicane. It could cost him a little bit. Of course, this is his last lap, remember? So he's not going to get any more chances, as Waldinger stayed in the pits this time.
So he'll probably be one of the last. He'll be probably have one lap and eventually
just a little bit down. 7/100 of a second, but he can still improve, of course. As the Grand Prix will definitely be holding each other up when they start their flying laps.
Yes, indeed.
Some advanced slipstream plans they got going on.
So Adventure coming through the 2 Lesmers now. Is he going to improve on this lap? He was only a little bit off as he comes now down, heading towards the Ascari chicane. And here we go.
Just a little bit off this time too.
Ooh, it's close. Still could do it. This could be very close. If he gets a good enough run through the Parabolica, he could still improve, because there's not really that much in it. The arts are also pushing each other through the Ascari chicane. They're basically side by side. So.
And now here go, the 2 of them. And now Adventure finishing his lap. Can he find any time? Has he found any time in this 3rd sector? And will this be enough to put him on pole? Of course, he's taken pole this season, but can he do it again? Daniel Adventure coming across the line. No! Loses out 2
No,
tenths
he
in the last
can't.
sector. Checker flag next to his name, and that is his session done. Andrea Feder will be finishing his session next. And where will he be able to go? He's currently in last place. No one wants to be there. And this is his last chance to improve. Can he get out of that hated position? Here goes Andrea Federi powering across the line. And can he avoid humiliation at home? Unfortunately not. He didn't improve it, and he'll
He
be
can't.
starting in last place. Galloway stays on pole, but he's not going to be able to improve.
Tomaselli comes across the line. He's way off as well for
But
Charade.
he has one lap
Equal to.
remaining, of course. Fashray is done for the day. Dennis Graf seems to be improving at the moment. And where can he place himself? Can he go into the top 5? No, he actually lost
No,
in
he
the
can't.
third sector. And Zorbach doesn't take pole. Misses out. What
So
about
Galloway's
Chatfield?
still on pole position.
Chatfield didn't improve
Doesn't
either. And what about Balanzolga? He didn't improve. Kupok is up next, currently in 5th place. Can he bear that? No. Second and a half of, so that was quite a lot. Now Max Killen finishing his session. And then there's Nguyen behind and Suarez, the 2 Dams cars. And then there is McCarthy.
Not many improvements in these laps.
No, not quite. McCarthy improved
McCarthy.
actually to go up into 9th. Watzel didn't
Good,
improve. What about Curtis up next? Curtis, he didn't improve either. His session is done. And yeah, he'll be starting 15 for lower. Jared Fosbury, after passing his teammate, he seems to be on a very quick lap. Let's see where exactly he can go. He's currently down in 18th. But for how much longer? Here goes Jared Fosbury across the line. And he's gone into 9th. Not bad at all.
Lap.
Anderson didn't improve. Now Christoph Belanek, one of the last guys remaining in this run. Where can he go? The man in 6th place at the moment stays in 6th place. Kyle Burns, he doesn't improve either. And that leaves only 3 people left. Those being Chatfield, Tomaselli, and Waldinger.
So the only 3 that will do one more lap. So it's only those 3 that could take the pole position away from Galloway.
And of course, this means the ISY, the championship leader, is down in 19th place. So this is a terrible spot to start the race. And yeah, this is definitely not good for him. And there's nothing he can do anymore. He's run out of laps. And there are still 3 people, one of them being Chatfield, of course, who can have a fight for pole.
Yeah, so of course it's good news for, of course, Zorbach and Adventure, who are up there as well. So it's qualifying them so far. But as I said, if Chatfield could, he was in 8th, so he still had a decent qualifying. But if he could, move up 7 more places, it would be just a little bit better, really.
Yeah, it would be indeed. Chatfield has taken pole at Silverstone this season, let's not forget. In similar circumstances, actually. He missed out on his last lap back then, but he's not going to miss out now.
Yeah,
but Waldinger going out already. And his teammate is coming in. There's a traffic jam. But Ben Waldinger is going out early.
Yeah, but Tomaselli as well, who's in 17th, because he's bottom of the standings at the moment. So pole position would be nice. He'd actually get more points than he's had all season, which I think would be something for him.
Well, Tomaselli still has time to put a positive surprise on the faces of the locals, of course. But now it's Ben Wallinger's turn. And let's see where he's going to be able to go. Of course, this is just the out lap. They're not going all out just yet, but just wait for it, of course.
Yeah, so I think actually Tomaselli is the top Italian at the moment, I think, actually.
Well, considering there are only 2 Italians and the other Italian is in last place, you would be right.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember off the top of my head. But,
yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, so Bent Barninger will be the first of the 3 to do his last lap. So can he?
We got some movement out of the pit lane. One of the other 2 is going out. When will the other guy come out? I'm not sure, because it might harm Wallinger's chances. I'm not quite certain of it myself.
It's Chatfield that's come out pits.
So we'll just be waiting for Tomaselli. He's got a minute to go to come out, so he could set the lap time safely. But now it's time to focus on Ben Waldinger. Into Parabolica he goes. Is that Tomaselli moving on the mini-map? I think he is.
I can't quite tell.
Yeah, it is. Tomaselli's gone out. And Waldinger started his last flying lap. He won't be getting impeded, which is good news for him. But let's see if we can get any sort of improvement. Right now he's only 5 1,000s behind Tomaselli. Let's see if we can get ahead of him. And ahead of how many other people.
Gets a decent run out of the chicane there, so He
Yeah, it
heads
was.
towards the Curva Grande for the final time for him. And let's see, coming up towards the first sector to see if he is going to improve his lap. And the answer is
No.
he's actually 10th down, but still plenty of time for improvement. So let's not count him
Yeah,
out yet.
especially in sectors 2 and 3. Sector 1 is doesn't really have anything notable going for it other than first chicane and Curva Grande. So that makes it really 3 corners.
Yeah, pretty basic. So Valdinger now coming off the second Lesmo onto the back straight, heading towards the Ascari chicane. And let's see if he's gained anything in this sector. The answer is he has not. So it doesn't
even
look
more.
like
He's 2 tenths down. So unless he has a miraculous last sector, 18th is where he'll be starting. As Chatfield has begun his lap, so they're waiting for Tomaselli to do the same. It's just about 1 minute to go.
So here we go. Looking at Valdinger coming through the parabolic. He needs a miracle really if he's going to improve the lap. As he comes through, pretty good run through. Is it enough?
Not impossible. It's going to be tough. And let's see what he's been able to do as he's coming across the line. Ben Valdinger. Is this 18th or can he go any better? No. He lost down in the last sector too. Chatfield a little bit down in the first sector as Tomaselli has begun his lap. And we'll be waiting for Chris Chatfield to see what he can do. Can he get another pole position or will he have to sell for 8th place today?
So if you look at Chatfield coming down towards the Ascari chicane, is he improving in this sector? As he comes through, the answer is no. He's
almost 7 tenths down, so this is definitely a write-off, this qualifying session. I think he'll be satisfied with 8th, especially considering where Suarez qualified in comparison to him. But Chatfield won't be able to get any better than this.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be too displeased with how he's done.
Second flag is out, the session is over, and we're just waiting for Chatfield and Tomaselli to finish their laps. First up, Chris Chatfield, who's been so far down in the first 2 sectors, he's not going to be improving, I can tell you this much. And here he goes, heading across the line to round off his session. Chris Chatfield doesn't improve, he'll be starting in 8th place. And he lost even more in the first sector, but Tomaselli, take a look at this, because he is currently on an improvement. So he might get out of 17th place, but where exactly can he go? Quite difficult to tell you, of course. He's the last man in the championship, let's not forget. And he'll be desperate to improve his position. As now Tomaselli finishing this session here at Monza. Can he make the home crowd smile? And why? Yes, he can. He goes 5th place. Massive improvement. He splits the lap axis, and that's one hell of a gain.
It is. But it is Jake Galloway who has taken pole position, top 6, separated by 93,000.
Tomaselli and Skillen said the exact same lap time. So Alessandro Tomaselli gained 8 tenths on his last flying lap, and that was absolutely a flyer. Definitely made the crowd smile like crazy. And yeah, Chatfield unable, unfortunately for him, didn't improve, and he's going to be starting in 9th place. But the man at the moment is Jake Galloway. He took pole at the beginning and held it ever since. But look how close this field is. And if it's going to be anything like that tomorrow, we're in for one hell of a race. And oh my gosh, let's take a look at these results. Yeah. Jake Galloway is in first place, pole position for him, and that's his first GP2 pole. 4 bonus points added to his column. Nicholas Zorbach, the man who got pole in Belgium and finished second. Now he's qualified second. Could he win tomorrow? We'll have to wait and see. Daniel Adventure qualifies in 3rd, looking to get his championship challenge back underway. Max Killen in 4th place. Same lap as Alessandro Tomaselli, but in virtue of saying it first, it's Killen in 4th and Tomaselli in 5th. David Kupok in 6th place, just 2 100s behind his teammate. Christoph Baranek in 7th, with Henry Watson in 8th. Chris Chatfield is 9th, just in front of Jared Fosbury in 10th and Chuck McCarthy in 11th. And you can do the rest.
Yeah, 12th place is Kyle Burns, the American, just ahead of Thomas Bennett. 14th place is Vanit Zolga. 15th place, Dennis Graff. 16th place, not a good qualifying either for Thomas Anderson, who's 5th in the chip. Aaron Curtis 6th in the championship, down to 17th.
Just 1,000 behind Anderson, I want to point out.
Yeah, Suarez, not a good qualifying for him either. 19th. Isaac Fashure in 20th. Leguan Hongmin in 21st. And Andrea Federi last in 22nd position. Quite a bit off the pace as well.
Yeah, sadly for him. But Federi did come back from the back to finish in 5th last time out. So anything can happen, of course.
Yeah, that is true. Anything can happen. So it's going to be a fascinating race for tomorrow. That's for sure.
Indeed so, and I can't wait for it to begin tomorrow. I'm already getting excited, and what a session, Jake Galloway. Kudos to him. He's earned it today, and he'll be very happy with that pole position. 1:30.403. So I think both of us were wrong with our lap time predictions. But anyway, Galloway, things are going his way today. And yeah, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in, of course. Thank you, George, for joining me on such short notice. Appreciate you did it, mate. And maybe you'll join tomorrow.
worries.
Depends. I'll talk to other people too, but I'll talk to you as well. But yeah, and thank you, Flo, for hosting as usual. And yeah, until next time, of course, stay tuned because tomorrow, of course, is the top class qualifying, and then a big event, the GP2 race here in Monza. But until then, I have been Robert Ionescu.
I've been George Oak, and we'll see you guys later.
Yeah, see you later, guys, and arrivederci.